Right now we've got steel fixtures and joiners. We've just completed the piling phase. We've got tunnelling activities. We're actually tunnelling through waterborne sands and gravels, and to enable us to do that, we've got to undertake the biggest jet grouting what's ever undertaken in the UK.
We also have to deal with the fact that this is one of the busiest railway stations, underground stations in London, and there are thousands of passengers who walk through here every single day.
The actual area itself where it's actually being built isn't extremely large either, so we're trying to fix an awful lot of steel in a very tight area.
I run the contractor stores, which is issuing out of all the tools first thing in the morning, have meters, no anti-vibration meters, keeping records of all the tools, looking after all the tools.
Mostly groundworks. It's mostly banking machines, banking cranes, and then when we go down further we start sinking shafts. I'll be driving different plants.
My main roles from day to day will be the maintenance and ongoing maintenance of the machines. Any fault finding or any rectification of problems, that's what I'm here to do.
It's a very confined site, so it's just making sure that everyone can work safely in their role, making sure everything happens in the right order so that as much production can happen as possible, but obviously you're still managing the quality of that.
We're basically constructing a new lifeboat station and slipway. We pile the foundations for the boathouse and the slipway through the old pier, strip off the old pier and build the station above the old pier. We've got 8 carpenters in total. 6 of them are our own carpenters. They've been mainly building the lifeboat stations.
The actual roof itself is a softwood structural decking that's all tongue and grooved. Because of the arches and the shape, each piece has to be bespokely fitted, if you wish.
It's one of the best spec roofs available, and it's good quality and long lasting.
This building is better in every way. It's larger to start with to cope with the modern requirements. We've got access and welfare. Each job is better than the last. We bring value engineering, we bring design improvements to make things fit together properly.
I live in the Lizard. We knew that we was having a new lifeboat station in a few months, so I managed to get a job with the guys, and sort of halfway through, because I know the crew and stuff anyway, I managed to join the crew and become a lifeboat man sort of thing, which I've always wanted to do since I was a kid anyway, and living in a lifeboat village, it was a thing to do really, you know. So I've been around here, been out on the Mumbles boat with the boys as well, so it's good.
The scope of our works here is to construct 2 new ticket halls, the east and the west, and our scope is to build these 2 ticket halls and the interconnecting tunnels where the trains and the platforms will be. It's logistically demanding because what we're doing is heavy civils on a postage stamp in the middle of London. So just in time deliveries, making sure that we don't have too much material on site at any one time because that becomes unsafe, but ensuring that we have it when we need it so we're not wasting time. So there's a lot of time and effort goes into planning.
And we set out the concrete lining walls. We make the frames that you pour the concrete into. There's sidings, bridges, columns, slabs, walls. Some of them have quite intricate little pieces you have to cut into them.
We're about 30 metres from the surface. Farringdon Station is right above our heads. We stood in the pilot tunnel for the concourse. On our left-hand side we have a run tunnel, and on the right-hand side we have a run tunnel. Eventually we will enlarge this tunnel to about 11 metres, and there'll be 4 cross passages coming off this, connecting with the platforms. The ground changes metre after metre. Normally in London we have nice London blue clear. We've got everything here.
We have Ferrovial, Pier and BAM all working together on this project, and we've got a much wider, broader sense of knowledge, bringing everyone's experience together, which will help us learn and progress as a team.
We have a £5.5 million project to upgrade the existing sewage treatment works, and we're to build a whole new works, tie it into the existing works, and then once it's fully commissioned, demolish sections of the old works. This is Northumbrian Water's largest capital framework project, so we've got a mix of steel fixers, joiners, labourers, concrete finishers.
At the minute we're doing some settlement tanks down there, which involves like radius shutters. Obviously you can see casting the circles. Doing the inlet works, which is small stem walls leading up to a deck system. The main sewage will come in there.
Right here we're building the new humus tank, which when we're finished will look like the 2 existing ones that are over my right shoulder here. At the moment we're just right down at the foundation level. As we push on we'll backfill in, we'll have a sort of a concrete dished area that'll receive all the steel, then a proper concrete fill,
The walls will build up from there and get backfilled in and eventually look like what's already here.
Throughout the legacy phase, we've worked on 22 structures. We've taken 12 bridges out and we built or modified another 10, either new bridges or modified existing. During the main transformation works, we had up to 2,000 people working on site because we were also managing the park as an entity for all other contractors working on the park, so we looked after all the security and the logistics of the park as well. We have a number of specialist subcontractors, one doing the landscaping who we worked with pre-games. We built 10 kilometres of mountain bike track and we use a specialist subcontractor for that.
Part of our scope of works was to take Hackney Marshes, which was a large car park for all the coaches, and return that back to its prior use, which was football pitches. There was a lot of temporary venues that were established for the games. Part of our scope of works was to deconstruct all these, so rather than just demolish it, what we had to do was get tier 1 contractors back in to actually systematically dismantle it so that the components could be reused as part of the legacy project. We've been working in the velodrome. The British Cycling are now going to make a velodrome. They're home with the mountain bike track, the BMX track and the cycling circuit which BAM Nuttall have produced. One of the buildings that we've built is the Northern Hub, now a community building which serves as a cafe and events area for members of the public coming to the park.
Reasons for me wanting to be an engineer was to help the community build the infrastructure that others don't have. Working in the Olympic Park makes me feel part of the community, part of the country itself.
The Olympics have been an absolutely fantastic project, both for BAM Nuttall and to showcase what the British construction industry can do. And I think we showed what can be achieved in legacy as well. I think it'll be a long time before we see something of this ilk again in this country.